to battle these Cincinnati Reds. In day games, he's got a 2.82 ERA and 184 strikeouts and 166 innings pitched. Another reason why you may ask, why didn't he pitch last night? Well, because in day games, he's even a better pitcher than during night games.
Yeah, he's tough during day games, and that's something as a hitter that you really hate to see. You hate to see when a guy's splits are really good during the day game. You didn't get a lot of sleep last night. You got beat last night, and now you got to come face this guy right here.
That's going to be tough. And in about 10 seconds, Austin, your approach if you had to hit against him.
I might push one on him. I might push bunt. See, I might get him moving a little bit.
I like it. There he is, Austin Jackson. I'm Al Pulowski. We'll talk to you after the game for Guardians Post. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, and Kaylee Griffin are coming in next with the call of today's game. Guards and Reds coming up next.
Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Cleveland Guardians.
It has been said many times before that baseball is not a sprint, but a marathon. So appropriate, after we just recently passed the quarter-mile mark of this baseball season, that today was the 49th annual Cleveland Marathon. And we wrap up this marathon of a homestand with the Cincinnati Reds as the Guardians try to make it 2 out of 3. Guards TV presented by Progressive. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Arch, you know that in this game, if you're, let's say, a high draft choice, you're probably going to get more chances than, say, a guy that was drafted later. And Stephen Vogt likes to say, I treat my players fairly, not equally. And I think about Angel Martinez a lot when I hear him say that, because Angel has worked very hard. He's had to earn it, but, man, he's starting to really pay off.
He's off to a terrific start for this year. And, I mean, you know, it's nice to see because he's playing all over the field right now. Last night he comes out, he gets a hustle double. He watches Jose, what he does the same thing. He gets himself in scoring position, will end up scoring a run there. That is double number 8 for him on the year. He comes in to score later on, and then he unties his game with a big 2-run home run. Number 8, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's playing crazy 8s for the year. He plays center field, left field, right field. When you look at him, he's leading the team in home runs. He's 3rd in RBIs, runs scored, 8 stolen bases, and 69 total bases. That's good. And, I mean, you wouldn't meet a nicer guy than Angel.
He's hit his way into the lineup, but as you know, he's got to keep hitting to stay in the lineup, and hopefully that does continue for the Cleveland Guardians. Coming up next, Kaylee Griffin joins us talking about Gavin Williams as he's on the bump today for Cleveland, trying to take 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati. Cleveland Guardians baseball is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit progressive.com. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Elk & Elk. For a team of injury lawyers dedicated to every client every day, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Professional grade.
Rivalry weekend across Major League Baseball. Guardians and the Reds wrapping up their 3-game series with the rubber match here this afternoon. Gavin Williams will be on the hill for the Guardians this afternoon. And when you look at Gavin Williams and Parker Messick, they have formed a very formidable duo in the Guardians rotation. They're tied for 4th in the league in wins with 5. Gavin is 4th in the league in strikeouts. Parker is 8th. Messick has the 4th best ERA in the league. Gavin starts today 8th in the American League in innings pitched. And as Kaylee Griffin joins us now, competition among teammates can sometimes bring out the best in all of them.
It certainly can, Matt, but the pitching staff as a whole is kind of like their own little family, right? They have such a unique bond, and they've played such a big role in why this team has had so much success in recent years. But let's not forget that there's no doubt that each pitcher would like something that maybe another pitcher has. So here's more from Parker Messick on what he'd like in his arsenal that today's starter Gavin Williams has at his disposal.
And I'd pay $100 to throw his fastball and his curveball. So I'd pay a lot of money every day to have that stuff. Watching him out there and the power stuff that he has, and you know, I play catch with him a lot, and trying to play catch with that when he's at 60 feet flipping you pitches is hard enough to catch. I can't imagine what it's like to hit. So when he's up there and he's, throwing his 85-mile-an-hour curveball and running 99 at the top zone, it's pretty fun to watch. When he's reaching out and he's letting it go, it catches up to you faster than you're anticipating. You catch something a little closer to your face than you'd like, but it's pretty special. And I mean, you can tell when he blows it by hitters how hard it is to see.
I asked Stephen Vogt pregame what he needs to see from Gavin Williams here today, and he said just attack. When Gavin's attacking the strike zone, he's tough to hit. He said, listen, Gavin did get hit around a little bit more than he'd like to in his last start, but we got him some extra days of rest, and we just need him to go out there and be himself. Matt.
Thanks, Kaylee. It's almost like Gavin hit a wall in that last start. One bad inning, and it kind of threw the whole thing out of whack.
So far, May, it hasn't been that good, but I think it's going to cost Parker more than $100. You can tell he's a rookie if you want his fastball and his sweeper. Get out of here, kid.
$100?
Yeah, right.
Take a walk. All right, we're back with the first pitch between the Guardians and the Reds. The big rig is ready to roll, and we're back after this. Sundays are for the kids here at Progressive Field. They take the field in the starting lineup. Watch Jose. He called over the young man at third base, said, hey, come here, my man. Give me a hug. That's why he's the best.
He got thumbs up.
Yeah. Jose and the Guardians take the field now between the lines behind Gavin Williams. Jose's DHing today, so he won't be at his customary third base position. That's why he wanted to give that young man a hug.
He sure did. Well, let's take a look at Gavin Williams. He's going to get the start tonight. And Gavin, in his 2 starts in the month of May, he has scuffled a little bit, giving up 10 runs in his 12 innings over the last 2 starts. But the last start was intriguing because against Minnesota, gave up a career-high 10 hits. 6 of those came in 1 inning.
Yeah.
And that's why we said he looked a little flat. Well, he's going to get some off. He had some off time, a little extra rest. Hopefully that helps him coming into this start because he was throwing the ball. He was 5-1, and I mean throwing it very well before that.
Here's the lineup he will face for Terry Francona's Cincinnati Reds this afternoon. Will Benson is the leadoff man, then Ellie De La Cruz, followed by J.J. Bleday, Spencer Steer, Sal Stewart, and Nathaniel Lowe in the middle. Tyler Stevenson, T.J. Friedel, and Matt McLean rounded out.
And defensively behind Williams, it looks like this. In the outfield, Martinez will be in left field. It'll be Stephen Kwan in center with his 4 Gold Gloves. A lot are over in right. Schneemann back at third base. It must be a Sunday. Rocchio is at shortstop. Bazan is at second. Manzardo at first, and Bailey doing the catching.
David Rackley will call the balls and strikes this afternoon. John Lipka, your first base umpire. Crew chief James Hoy over at second, and Tyler Jones down at third base. 79 degrees. Arch, we might break a sweat today.
I'll tell you what, isn't it nice?
Wow.
I thought it was nice last night, but day game, you got really not many clouds in the sky, and the sun is out.
Spectacular.
Beautiful.
Sunday afternoon. The marathon runners were probably hoping it was a little cooler this morning. But they plodded along, and now it is baseball time to wrap up this lengthy homestand.
And this will be Gavin's first start against the Cincinnati Reds in his career. I found that sort
hard
of
to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I found that hard to believe, but he's going to get a chance to go at him today. The winner of this game will win the series.
All-time Cleveland 78-65 against Cincinnati. Gavin Williams winds it up, and we're underway. Threw it by him with a good fastball. Will Benson is leading off for the 4th time in the last 6 games. Curveball, tried to hold up. He went too far. It's 0-2.
Well, you got 2 pitches, 2 strikes. You can see he did go. High fastball and then the curveball.
Came back with another one. 1-2 the count. Checked on another breaking ball down and in. Even up at 2-2. this. He struck him out. 1 down.
Second for Cincinnati, shortstop number 40.
Well, he stayed right with that breaking ball. You can see that curveball, knuckle curve. There it is. And this one was a strike. He pulled the 2 prior to that, but gets him to swing and miss and gets his first strike out of the ball game.
Ellie De La Cruz comes in riding a 9-game hitting streak. He is 3rd in the National League in hits, 7th in runs scored. Woo. 97, right at the top of the strike zone, and it's 0-2. I'll tell you what, Rick, I'm thinking to myself, if you're having a tough time getting the engine started on an early Sunday game after a night game, 97 miles an hour will wake you up in a hurry.
Well, just think about it. You were wondering why he was swinging at all those curveballs on first pitches, you know, from the pitchers last night. Now, today it's the fastballs that he's getting after. He's an aggressive hitter.
And Gavin blew it right by him at 99. He strikes out the first 2.
Batting third for the Reds, left fielder number 22, J.J. Bleday.
And I mean, Gavin can do this to you, boy. He's got such an explosive fastball. It's above the belt, very tough to get on top of. Maybe at best you foul it off. That's why we were amazed in this last start. He never gives up many hits, but he did that day.
J.J. Bleday can't catch up to the heat. And this guy's been as hot as any hitter.
Yeah, this will be a good check for you because he has been locked in.
They cooled him off last night. He went 0 for 4.
Yeah, and you know, that's what you want to do. If they swing at that high fastball, they're doing Gavin a favor. You got to try and make him get his fastball down. But then when you do, when you look down, you get that breaking ball.
He is sharp here at the outset. The 1-2. Bleday fouls it off to stay alive. Over his last 6 games, Bleday has gone 10 for 22 with 6 extra base hits. Almost got him on the back foot. Pulled that foul. Bleday 3 hits in the series, 2 of them doubles, and both of them were hit down into the right field corner. A weak chopper to second. Bazana throws him out. The Reds go 1-2-3. A couple of swings and misses. And the Guardians are coming to bat.
Leading off the bottom of the first for the Guardians.
Steven Vogt starting lineup brought to you by Progressive. Daniel Schneemann back in the leadoff spot once again. Jose Ramirez in that 2-hole DH, and Chase DeLauder is 3rd. Then Kyle Manzardo, Travis Bazana, and Stephen Kwan, followed by Angel Martinez, Patrick Bailey, and Brian Rocchio batting 9th. Former Kansas City Royal Brady Singer on the hill for the Reds. And he throws the first pitch strike into Daniel Schneemann.
Well, he works from the extreme side, the first base side of that rubber. So he can probably pitch into left-handers, and he did the first 2 pitches.
A soft liner to short for out number 1.
Well, Brady Singer having a tough time so far this year. I mean, he's a guy that likes to compete. He stays in ball games, and you can see in his career against the Guardians, 3-3, a 488 earned run average, 14 starts. He's had issues in his last few starts giving up the long ball. 8 homers for Brady Singer in his last 4 starts.
The slider has not been as effective for Brady Singer this year, and some people feel like that has forced him, Rick, to maybe go into the strike zone more than he would like.
Yeah.
And maybe that accounts for the 59 hits and 42 innings of work.
Well, yeah, he's given up a lot of base runners. You're right, but I mean, he's a guy that goes out there and he gets in the groove, but you know, he likes to get ahead. There's a little slider right there. 2-0 to Jose. And Jose has had pretty good numbers against him. There it is, 12 for 29 with 3 dingers.
Outside, it's 3-1. Jose has walked 33 times this year, 6th most in the American League. He's 5 for 8 in the series against the Reds with a double, a couple of stolen bases, and that's ball 4.
Now, Singer was drilled with a 106-mile-an-hour liner in his last start, but stayed in the game.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. And there is a look at the pitch mix for Brady Singer.
Yeah, the sinker, slider, sweeper, cutter, or seamer.
Now Chase DeLauder. Rick, that was the 119th walk issued by Cincinnati pitchers this year, most in the majors.
Yeah, we've witnessed it, this only being the 3rd game of the series.
DeLauder drills into deep right field. Benson will wave goodbye. Home run number 7 for Chase DeLauder. And it's 2-0 Cleveland in the first.
That's the first home run for DeLauder since May 3rd on the West Coast when you guys were there. And what a time for it in that first inning. You take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, remember Chase hit 5 homers in his first 7 games. But that power is always there. And now Kyle Manzardo, a swing and a miss. Guardians have now outscored their opponents 29-18 in the first inning.
That's the year. That's what you want to see. You want to see some more scoring early in the first few innings against this any club, really. You can get that lead, turn it over to your pitchers, give them a little breathing room.
They haven't done a ton of it, but this is a team that over the last several years, when they get the early lead, I'm talking after 2 innings, they dominate. Checked, it was low. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Manzardo, who has hit in 8 of his last 12 games, batting .314 over that stretch. 4 extra base hits. Swing and a miss. He went up top with a good fastball. Strikes him out, 2 down. Here's our Chevy drive of the game already.
Well, here you go. A nice little slider that stayed middle and inside. Yeah, little slider, and he left it hanging, and he hit it hard.
Punished it.
Yeah, he did.
Kind of makes me wonder, Rick, when that's been a good pitch for you, and now this year, it's not like you can abandon it. He's still throwing it. But when it's getting hit like that.
Yeah, but he was on the inside part. It was on the plate. The lefty, it just speeds up his bat. And
what does that do to the confidence? So when that's been your bread and butter, and all of a sudden it's getting
you got to make better pitches. That's all. You can't leave it middle of the plate. But I know you have to throw strikes with it. He's not a guy that wants to walk anybody. He usually has pretty good control.
Travis Bazzana with a 2-1 count. And he lines it into left center field. So Bazana now 9 for 30 on the homestand, and he's hit in 11 of his last 14 games.
Here's the fastball. There we see, middle of the plate, 92 for that sinker. And take it the other way. Good job of staying on it. That's something they've been very good at lately, is scoring with 2 outs. 40% of their runs this year have come with 2 outs.
Hit hard but foul. Right side. Bazana gets back. He has stolen 7 bases, yet to be caught. Juan takes a strike. It's 0-2. Juan moved out of the leadoff spot last night. A single, 2 walks, 2 runs scored.
Yeah, he had to feel good getting on 3 times, making the left turns.
Trying to hold up. He went too far, says Tyler Jones, and the side is retired. But Chase DeLauder with a 2-iron to right field. It's 2-0 Guardians. A few folks still making their way into the ballpark. Probably just finished up running the marathon. But man, what a beautiful afternoon to take in a game. We'll be in Motown tomorrow night for a 4-game series opener against the Tigers. They're talking close to 90 degrees tomorrow in Detroit. Spencer Steer leads off for Cincinnati. Here in the second. Line drive just beyond a leaping Brian Rocchio. And that's an 8-game hitting streak for Spencer Steer and a 15-game road hitting streak.
Batting fifth for the Reds, third baseman number 27, Sal Stewart.
All right, Steer got the fastball, and he lined it over the head of Rocchio. He tried to get up as high as he could, just out of reach.
He made one of those catches earlier on the homestand.
Not quite that high, but he was up there.
Well, here's Sal Stewart. And a challenge for Patrick Bailey.
Pitch was ruled a ball. The catcher is challenging.
It's called a strike.
Call's overturned. 0-1.
Well, Patrick Bailey is 1 for 1. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Guardians come in, Rick, ranked dead last in ABS challenges at just 42% overturn rate on the season.
You would think that's hard to do, you know?
The Cincinnati Reds, for comparison, they're 6th best at 59% overturn rate. Stephen Vogt was talking about it before the game today, Arch. And one thing he said, we have to avoid the emotional challenges.
Yes.
And that's a big part of it.
Sure it is.
Because he said, look, as a player, you say, oh, there's no way that was a strike, or oh, there's no way that could be a ball. And you react emotionally, and that's usually when you're wrong.
Well, like I said, it's good. You're going to have to get used to it. And he told those guys at spring training, go ahead, challenge when you think you should challenge, and you're going to find out about it. But they're done, as you mentioned, dead last on that. You got to pick the right time and the right situation, because we saw last night in the game where they ran out of challenges, and they could have used one late in the game when he rang up Hedges, and that ball was well off the plate, and they couldn't do anything.
Missed in off the dish there. 2-2. Good take for Stewart. Despite the fact that he's 0 for his last 14, he has 3 walks in this series. For a rookie, he's shown a pretty good approach. And he lines one into left field for a single. So back comes Cincinnati with back-to-back hits.
Well, take a look. It's a breaking ball. I know that. It looked like a slider, but it, you know, it looked that
sweeper. Yeah, that's what he calls it.
Yeah, you can call it. All right, let's say the sweeper or something, but that was flat.
It sure was.
That was flat. You saw it coming out of his hands, and that had no downward movement whatsoever. So that allowed the right-hander to get a base hit.
Nathaniel Lowe, the DH. Slow breaking ball, missed inside. Nathaniel Lowe this year has been the very definition of home runs in bunches. 5 of his 6 home runs were hit between April 24th and April 30th. Yikes.
Yeah, he's always swung the bat good against us. When he was in Texas, he came up. He used to wear out left field line.
Back-to-back singles. Now he's 3-0 to Lowe. Taking all the way, that's in there. Gavin came out breathing fire in the first inning. Set him down 1-2-3. Had 7 swings and misses in that first inning alone. Center field. Quan measures it, makes the catch. The runners hold, 1 down. A word here from Cleveland Clinic.
When you make complexities your specialties, you redefine what's possible. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Now Tyler Stevenson. He's hit into a couple of double plays on the year. Spencer Steer, who led off the inning with a single, he leads Cincinnati. He's grounded into 5 double plays on the year. Nailed the outside part of the plate with that curveball. It's 1-1. Another breaking ball, fouled back. Cincinnati at 23-22. They have dropped 11 of their last 14 games. Not long ago they were in first place. They're currently last in the NL Central, but only 5 games off the pace. The 1-2 blew it by him. Another 99-mile-an-hour fastball. 3rd strikeout for Gavin.
Batting 8 for the Reds, center fielder number 29.
I'll tell you what, any hitter you see for him, and it's the first time they faced him, you go 99, you're not catching up to that heater. You just can't do it.
Well, now T.J. Friedel. And that missed for ball 1. His first action in the series.
Here you go. Go hit Gavin Williams. Here's your chance.
He takes, that's a strike, 1-1. Gavin, a check of the runners. And the 1-1. Foul back. Friedel will use a timeout to gather his thoughts. 8 extra base hits in his last 17 games that he has started. Oh, just a tad high. A good eye by Friedel. That's the high fastball that Rick was saying. As a hitter, you have to lay off, but when it's that close, it's hard to take. Oh, and he dropped a breaking ball on him and struck him out. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings. The Reds spoil 2 hits here in the second inning. 2-0 Guardians. Cavaliers in action tonight, game 7 of their playoff series against the Pistons. Let them know, that's the Cavs slogan, and that was the Guardians slogan, Rick. In the bottom of that first inning, as you always say, the hitters let you know. They let them know, all right, because any mistake that Brady Singer made, they punished him for it. Base hit by Bazan, a 2-run homer by DeLauder. Angel Martinez leads off here, the bottom of the second inning.
He's been on a nice little roll, homering in 3 of his last 4.
Bet365 betting odds this afternoon. Martinez hitting in 5 of his last 6 games with 3 homers, 6 runs batted in. He's down on strikes here. Swung and missed.
That's where you put your slider. He buried him down in the end. Got him to swing over the top. That was a very good pitch. Well located. There you see it starts out as a strike. By the time it gets there, it's not going to be a strike, and you get the guy to swing over it. That's where he has to locate his slider.
Patrick Bailey looking for his first hit as a Guardian. 0 for 7 since he was acquired from San Francisco. Bailey, a switch hitter. Back-to-back Gold Glove winner behind the plate. First guy to do that since Yadi Molina. Drill high in the air. Deep right. Benson back. Just shy of the track. Makes the catch. And that is out number 2. And that'll bring up the RBI machine out of the 9 spot in the order. Brian Rocchio. Rocchio now 3 behind Chase DeLauder for the team lead.
That's something, isn't it? Coming out of that number 9 hole, he's been terrific.
He's our Blue Moon bright spot. Nobody that bats 9th in baseball is even close to him. I guess, I mean, normally you start doing that, they move you out of that 9 spot.
No,
they bump you up in the order.
No, I'll tell you what. He's playing so well. You got to keep him right where he is.
I am in 100% agreement. And a line drive center field base hit for Rocchio.
He has done a really nice job, 2 out hitting, and you can tell he just feels comfortable, and the confidence is flowing down there.
Stephen Quote echoed your sentiments this morning, saying the 2-strike approach is where they've seen the biggest strides,
right?
Biggest growth.
Yes, what he does, he widens out that stance. He doesn't, you know, until he gets 2 strikes, he tries to get going. But with 2 strikes, he's a 270 hitter. That's the hardest thing to do, is hit with 2 strikes. But you know what? You give in. You know, you change your attitude. You take it the other way. You take these little base hits or things like that to get on base and do what you have to do. That is so valuable, and more hitters should take on that thought process. You know, we're not a big home run hitting team. Home runs will come when you put up good at-bats. But when we're an action team, we've got to get base runners, whether it's walks, base hits, I don't care if you're bunting, whatever you're doing to get on base and make something happen. That's how this team has to play. And when they do it, and they do it right, they're a very exciting team to watch.
Daniel Schneemann out looking to end the inning. We've played 2. Guardians 2, Reds nothing. Guardians TV is presented by Progressive. Matt McLain leads off for Cincinnati. Pops the first pitch up.
Yes, you like that. First pitch, 1 out.
Manzardo had trouble, lost it in the sun. Never saw it.
Does he have glasses on top of his hat?
Yeah, they're going on his face now.
I have a hard time believing, guys, the sun's been out there all day. Who are you surprising? Are you kidding me? He's got his sunglasses on his hat. That's
I love it because nothing gets under your skin more.
That is unbelievable. Why do you have them on your hat? Look at, hey, help me out. Oh my God, what do you? That's mind-boggling to me. That is unbelievable.
Get off my lawn. Here's the 0-1 of McLain takes. It's outside.
I was having a good day till that happened.
1-1 foul off to the right.
Well, you're just giving a guy extra chance to get on base.
All the way to the backstop with that pitch. 2-2 on McLain. He did not go on the appeal. Full count. You know what I think has become extinct in baseball? The flip downs. I can't recall.
No, Schneemann wears them.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's about the only guy I've ever seen wear them.
Backing up with Schneemann. Unloads in a hurry, and a good throw. Got him.
He had to stay back on that ball, and he knew he had to get rid of it quickly on that quick hop. And boom, he goes. I'll tell you what, he does an amazing job going from position to position and not missing a beat.
Back to the top of the order, Will Benson. He looks at strike one after he went down swinging in the first. Takes a curveball. It's 0-2.
That's another. He's got 8 0-2 1-2 counts so far today.
Carl Willis likes what he's seeing early. Swung out and missed. That's his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. 2 down.
Now batting for the Reds.
Second time he's been able to get Benson on a nice tight slider here. Well done.
And that will bring up Ellie De La Cruz. Struck out his first time up. During his 9-game hitting streak, Ellie De La Cruz came in with 16 hits and 38 at bats. Back out of play. Now the 1-2. Back out of play. You know, you used to think the bigger the hitter, the longer the arms, the bigger the holes. This guy, it's almost the opposite. Like, where do you throw it that he can't get to it?
Well, you know what? That's true, because guys that are tall, long arms, they can get off the plate, and look where they can hit it the other way.
That is long gone. Holy mackerel. Opposite field blast into the bleachers. And L.A. De La Cruz, with his 11th home run of the season, slices Cleveland's lead in half at 2-1.
And he got on that fastball.
Not exactly endearing himself to the crowd as he takes his sweet old time around.
He doesn't care.
He sure doesn't. I thought he was going to start moonwalking across home plate.
Well, that's I mean, when you see a guy go left center on a nice heater right here, look at that ball. It was right down the middle at 98, but it was down enough where he was able to drop the head and get it on top of the ball. Stayed with it, let it track deep, and he took it the other way. That's a great swing. They're on the board with his 11th homer.
And there's a ball hit hard to right, but DeLauder brings it down. Reds get on the board. Middle of the third, 2-1 Cleveland.
Summer's here.
Jose Ramirez singled in the 8th inning last night, moving him past Lou Boudreau in the sole possession of 6th place on the Guardians' all-time hit list. Our Hyundai in the driver's seat. Not since 1949 has someone entered the top 6. That's pretty awesome.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Jose leads off here. Swung on and missed. You know, when Jose Ramirez played for Terry Francona, Tito was already in his 16th year as a big league manager, and yet he learned something very valuable that has stayed with him ever since. And that is, it's dangerous to put any kind of label on a young player as they're developing. Because he said early on, the word around the organization was he's got a chance to be a really good utility player.
Right.
He said you pigeonhole somebody that earlier in their development, you may damage their long-term potential. Because he said this guy's turned into one of the best players in the game, and he said it's every single year.
Yeah, every day of every year. Yes, it is.
And to be stealing bases at the rate he's stealing them at this stage in his career is pretty extraordinary.
It just the Energizer Bud, he just keeps right on going, man.
3-2 pitch. Left field,
slicing foul.
Not by much, but
no. Yeah. It was enough he had to get down the line, though. Yeah, that's the amazing thing, that through his career, you don't see him on the IL. You don't. He plays almost every day, almost every inning, and his days off are DHing.
I remember the times when Tito would have to try to give him a day off, and he would just shake his head and look at the floor and go, "It's going to be a fight."
Oh yeah,
because he doesn't want to come out of the lineup.
No, he doesn't.
Ever. 8th pitch of the at-bat for Jose. Another foul. Sandy was ducking out of the way.
See, this is when you know he's getting rolling a little bit, when he has at-bats like this. The bigger the number he sees, the better he gets locked in.
Swung on and missed. Brady Singer with a nice two-seam pitch on the outside part of the plate. Maybe got him to expand.
Well, that's the thing, though. You know, he was going inside with him. Then he throws that two-seamer away, and he did get him, but it was too close to take. So you give Singer credit on, you know, he was fouling off a lot of pitches, pulling everything. He went away and got it away enough where he got the swing and miss.
Chase DeLauder's 2-run homer in the first gave the Guardians the lead. He will challenge that pitch. He didn't think it was a strike.
The batter is challenging.
Second challenge issued by Cleveland against home plate umpire David Rackley. And it just did nick
0-1. Cleveland has one challenge remaining.
Zone, and so the Guardians have one challenge remaining.
See, that's that right there with an 0-0 count. You know, there's no reason, I don't think, to challenge it because you still have 2 strikes even if it was. But you know, you lose that pitch and now you're down to 1. And another thing, he's a good 2-strike hitter. He has a good eye at the plate. It's not that he needs all 3 strikes every at bat.
Maybe it's just something to do with an at-bat for a hitter is so personal. This is your time. It's my time. And you want every pitch, and so you just get too wrapped up in it.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you can have that, but early in the game, you better be sure if you want to challenge, you want to save one. I mean, if you get to 2 strikes or something like that, that to me is a different story. But the first pitch of an at-bat, you should be absolutely sure that you're right.
The 3-2. Right back up the middle and through. And DeLauder, as Rick just said, he's a 2-strike hitter. Smacks it right back through the middle.
Yeah, and he's swinging a bat very well. You only need one swing to get a hit. And he does. He gets it right back up the middle. So he is now 2 for 2.
Here is Kyle Manzardo down on strikes his first time up. Can't find it, but DeLauder couldn't either.
Yeah, no, he didn't anticipate. That ball was in the dirt. That's one he could have taken second base on. He was walking back to second base. Watch. There it is. Let's go back. No. You should have been shuffling off. He did not. Right there, you got caught. He could have had an extra 90 feet.
Just did catch the outside corner with a slider. Wow, Hockey, look at that. Pop this one back into the seats. 2-2. The Guardians' second 2-run homer of the afternoon. It's Kyle Manzardo's 3rd of the season. And it's 4-1 Cleveland.
That was a similar pitch that DeLauder hit out on. I think it was a little bit slower. Manzardo able to pull it down the line and hits that pole. Home run number 3.
As Kyle Manzardo begins to heat up, you're starting to see the extra base hits pile up. He's hit in 9 of his last 13 games. 2 doubles, a homer, now 2 homers, and 8 runs batted in. Travis Bazzana, a 2-out single his first time up, looks at a pitch high. Time called by Bazzana. Tell you what, Arch, when I pulled into the parking garage today, the gentleman that was checking us in, he told me we're going to see a lot of home runs today. I'm going to go ask him for lottery numbers.
Well, he knows it's a little warmer.
3 homers in the first 3 innings, 2 for Cleveland, 1 for Cincinnati. And a ground ball single in the left field. Bazzana's 2 for 2. 6 hits already for Cleveland in the game. Another
there, yeah, another one coming down and in to the left-hander, and he's throwing some good sliders, but this one got too much of the plate, and Manzardo hit it off the pole. Caught it out in front. So a pair of 2-run homers.
And now Stephen Kwan. He takes a strike. Wow.
Yeah, 10 homers in his last 5 starts. Started off the year with just 3 in 23 2/3 innings.
Bazzana was off and running. That was a straight steal. He never even peeked back, so he dove head first into second base. All for naught.
And normally when you're stealing a base and you don't peek up, if a guy swings at it and hits it, it's almost like a reaction that you do look back because you hear it. You want to know where the ball's at.
Up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Bazzana at first base again. He has stolen 7. He has not been caught yet. Not running, and Kwan pops one in there, shallow center. Long run for everybody. The center fielder Friedel gets there. 2 down. Angel Martinez coming up. We go downstairs to Kaylee Griffin.
Well, Matt, I talked to hitting coach Grant Fink about Angel and what he's seen from him. He said his confidence is just on another level, but he's understanding who he is as a big leaguer. He's going to have some chase out of the zone, but he doesn't panic. And when he's just taking his best swing, he hits the ball harder. He's having more competitive at-bats, and we see him walk a little bit more. Just a lot of things that add up to being a more productive player this year. He also mentioned the work he's been putting into the details, and last night was really kind of that perfect example, right? Angel talked about it post-game, what went wrong Friday and what he was able to do to make those adjustments and really put together those impactful at-bats last night.
Impactful is a great way to put it. Angel with a key double and the 2-run 6th inning, and then the 2-run homer that broke the tie in the 7th with 2 outs, mind. Chopped to second. That will retire the side. Guardians have hit 2 2-run homers. Chase DeLauder in the first. Now it's Manzo ball. Deep down the line off the pole. It's 4-1 Cleveland.
Well, the Guards will return home to face the Washington Nationals in a 3-game series. That'll be the 25th of May through the 27th. Pick up a family value pack benefiting Cleveland Clinic Children's. You get 4-game tickets plus $40 of loaded value to spend on merch and concessions for just $99. CLEGuardians.com to get your tickets.
Spencer Steer leading off the 4th inning for Cincinnati. He singled to left off Gavin Williams his first time up. 4 for 10 in the series with a double and 3 runs batted in for Spencer Steer and a 15-game road hitting streak. 8 games overall he is a hit in. One ball, 2 strikes. Right field. And another hit for Steer. The water cuts it off, holds him to a long leadoff single.
Now batting for Cincinnati, third baseman number 27, Sal Stewart.
Well, watch him stay back. He had a base hit in his first at bat, puts that foot down, and that's a nice fastball away. He just let it track, get it on the plate, and take it that way. That's a pretty swing for a base knock. He has 2 of the 4 hits for Cincinnati.
Sal Stewart, big swing and a miss at a curveball. Stewart snapped an 0 for 14 slump with a single to left his first time.
Yeah, those 2 guys, Steer and Stewart, had got that second inning started right on back-to-back hits, but Gavin shut him down.
Mentioned this earlier, Rick, and I don't know that there's a single answer that explains this formula, but when Cleveland gets the early lead, they are tough to beat. When they lead after just 2 innings. There's a slow tapper, and this is going to be another base hit. How about that?
Nothing you could do about that one.
So on the year, they're 7-0 at home when they lead after just 2 innings, and overall 10-3 on the season. And this is a stat that has held up over the last several years.
I was saying, we've been tracking it for that long. You know, and you think, okay, after 6 or after 7 when you have the good bullpen. But when you look at after 2, that, I mean, it still holds true for this ball club. Hard to believe.
It speaks to the starting pitching.
Yeah.
You give them an early
then the
lead.
bullpen.
And there's a base hit left field. So the Reds got their hitting shoes on here. They're going to wave home Steer. He's going to score. And it's 4-2, and the Reds come right back with 3 consecutive hits in the inning.
You see Lowe in the last at bat, he tried to go that way, but he flew out to center field, but he stayed back, hit a line drive here. And there you see a little 2-seamer, stay on it. So that's what they're doing. They look like they're trying to take him the other way. Steer started it with a very good at bat going to right field. Stewart, nothing you could do. He topped one and got an infield single, but a nice line drive. That's what Minnesota did in the last start against Gavin. They strung together. Yeah, which is unbelievable. 6 hits in an inning. And if you recall, Minnesota stayed basically in the center part of that field.
Breaking ball just missing. 2-0. So the hits are even at 6 apiece. Threw that one by him, 2-2. You do have to wonder, when you just had this happen to you in your last start, you see 3 straight hits in an inning, does that start to seep into your mind like, oh no, here we go again?
Well, it might for him. I don't know, but he's so tough to hit. you know, when he makes good pitches, they don't put the ball in play where you can get double plays. Well, you get an out there, an easy one. But you know, for Gavin, yeah, let me see.
Number 29, TJ Friedel.
He does have 5 ground ball double plays. But he's normally tough to put the ball in play on because they have a lot of swings and misses and a lot of foul balls. Oh, he's
inside move. They got him picked off. 2 down. Sal Stewart got caught hopping.
Yeah, that's sometimes that gets you. He started to take off. They move, and he got him off second base. Could not get back. And he wasn't going to get it. He wanted to go. And they were talking about how good he was at stealing third base. Well, that time the ball was held long enough where he couldn't take off, and he got off too far.
It looked like when he took that hop, he landed flat-footed too. And he was just kind of stuck in neutral. Guardians have become one of the best teams, the best in the American League, at picking off runners.
And that's the first time that Stewart's been caught. He was 10-0.
TJ Friedel struck out to end the second inning. Gavin has him buried 0-2. A little high. Oh no, he rung him up. A delayed strike 3 call. Friedel can't believe it. The inning is over. Reds get one back. It's 4-2 Guardians as we head to the bottom of the 4th here in Cleveland. Home half of the 4th inning. Cleveland up 4-2. And leading off is Guardians catcher Patrick Bailey. Sent a long fly ball to right field for an out in the second inning. A tad low, 2-1. Bailey was waiting on that fastball, but couldn't quite get the head out quick enough. Full count. Rocchio is next, and then Daniel Schneemann. Left center field. Blinde over and makes the catch, 1 down. Well, our Toyota keys to the game, or key to the game today, is quite simple.
Get to that Reds bullpen. You can see the ERA. They have a tough time. You know, they walk a lot of people. They give you some free base runners late in the game, and it has been a tough go for Cincinnati. We witnessed it on Friday night where, man, they came out and they had a 6-1 lead in the 8th inning. 3 straight walks without throwing a strike.
Yeah, the Reds bullpen, this puts it simply. They've given up 10 runs in 2 games in the series. 5 runs in each game. I don't care who you are as a manager.
It's hard to, yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Those are the guys you have. And look, Tito was running the guys out there who had good ERAs. We haven't seen the soft underbelly of this bullpen.
Right. Yeah, you had leads.
Rocchio took a big swing, and this is where Stephen Vogt was saying that they've seen the most growth from Brian Rocchio.
Right now, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and he may get out and take his shots like a lot of hitters do, but when he gets to 2 strikes, he's been able to switch his mentality.
Well, that's what he did. He takes a little time out, he regroups, changes his thought process, and say, okay, just stay back and put it in play.
Oh!
Look what happens.
Swing hard and see where it goes. To the wall. It's gone. 4th home run of the season from Brian Rocchio. Yeah, flex those muscles, big man. I like that 2-strike. Just put it in play approach.
He was not trying to do that. He was just trying to make good contact, and he made some solid contact. And hit that ball out of the ballpark with 2 strikes. And so he continues his terrific 2-strike hitting. And the 3rd home run today for the Guardians. Just sitting back, and another breaking ball. That one middle of the plate. That slider, all 3 of them have been breaking balls that they hit out of the ballpark. See where he just he sat there, he waited for it,
just let his hands work through the strike
he sure
zone.
did.
Low. 2-2. Wow. This is when you know you're going well as an offense. They have 5 2-hit strikes in the game.
Yeah, out of their 7 hits, and 5 of them with 2 strikes. That's beautiful.
Schneemann goes down swinging at a high fastball. 6 Ks for Singer. So getting to 2 strikes has not been a problem for Brady Singer. And with 2 down, here is Jose Ramirez. Crushed to right. Benson back on the track, makes the grab to end the inning. Home run derby day here at Progressive Field. 3 Cleveland homers, and they lead it 5-2. (5-2). Guardians on top. Matt McLean to lead it off for Cincinnati here in the 5th. And Gavin Williams right at him with the first pitch strike. Action in the Cincinnati bullpen. You wonder if that's it for Brady Singer. 0-2. Cincinnati sent Luis May back to AAA and brought up another relief arm. Jose Franco is in the bullpen for the Reds today. They also had to put their catcher, Jose Trevino, on the injured list. A hamstring injury.
I was going to say the hamstring last night. Boy, oh boy, they're going down.
P.J. Higgins called up to take his spot. But you know, the relief pitcher move, it got me thinking, Rick, as the 2-2. I asked Stephen Lowe, you know, as a manager, you've got a million things you have got to keep track of and you have to stay on top of. I said, but as fluid as the bullpen is nowadays, are you maybe more aware of your top relief arms at AAA than anything else? He said, yeah, you're always looking for more pitching.
Right.
He said, you think you have enough pitching? I want more pitching. You just don't ever have enough. So, yeah, he said, there's a ground ball right at the shortstop. We're pretty fortunate to have the kind of depth that we have. And yeah, you're constantly, like Andrew Walters, for example, was just activated off the injured list. Was dealing with a viral infection after he came back from an arm issue. He's now optioned, and he's going to start getting ramped up to be able to impact this bullpen at some point. So, you know, we've heard a lot about Daniel Espino. We get to see him in spring training. He's a guy that can throw it 100 miles an hour, and I'm excited about his potential.
Well, the minute you think you've got enough pitching, they still want more. You never have enough. I remember we were here one time. We had, what, 8 good starters going down through AAA, and the next thing you know, a couple get hurt. And somebody gets off to a rough start, and you're going, wait a minute.
Where's all that starting pitching?
Yeah, where's the starting pitching we had? And I'm sure every manager and every team is in the same boat.
Mr. Boschenik had an interesting stat. Or I should say Statman Struthers had an interesting stat. Cleveland, I think, is the only team to have only used 5 starters.
Right.
And it's May 17th.
Right.
That's amazing. Every other team.
I mean, was it on this
homestand? What a play by Gavin. He just reached back and snared it.
Get that big paw out there and caught it. Yes, it was on this homestand. There was only 2 teams. It was Seattle and us, and then Seattle had another start, and then we came out, and it's still the same 5. Let's hope that continues.
But it also speaks to how fragile the state of starting pitching is in the big leagues.
Yes, with injuries and arms. Yes, no question.
2 down for Ellie De La Cruz. Homered his last time up.
Wasn't it 2005 that we used 5 starters all year long?
There was one other starter who started 4 or 5 games, but that was
right.
Basically, we've had 5 starters.
Because you're going to have some double headers and things like that along the way.
Oh, it falls just inside the chalk, and Ellie De La Cruz is living right. 2 hits today. He had his multi-hit game streak snapped last night, but he comes right back with a 2-hit performance.
Yeah, this guy, you talk about locked in, and there's a little slider right there down and in, and he just flares it down the line, and it just stays fair. When you're going good, that's what happens.
And with 2 down, J.J. Bleday, the batter, 0 for 2 today. 3 hits on Friday night, 0 for his last 6 since. Gavin doesn't want to give the Reds any of that momentum back. So this is a big hitter for him to get through this 5th inning, keep it a 5-2 Cleveland lead. Right back to him in a big rig. We'll take it to the rest stop. 5-2 Guardians. Deuces Wild, a 2-run homer for DeLauder, a 2-run homer for Manzardo, and a 2-hit day for Bazzana. They're due up next.
The bottom of the 5th for the Guardians, right fielder number 24.
The top half of the 5th inning is brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Jeep dealers. And the Guardians lead at 5-2. Chase DeLauder leading it off. He's 2 for 2, a 2-run homer, a single, and 2 runs scored. Our Sarah Auto Park pitching change. The Reds go to the bullpen, and left-hander Brock Burke into the fray. Brady Singer went 4 innings, 5 runs on 7 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts, but the 3 home runs, and that number jumps out because he's been giving them up in rapid succession here of late.
Yeah, he's given up in his last 5 starts now 11 home runs. They hit two runners and a solo shot off him today.
The 2-1. Club foul. Here's what I wonder. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. It's not Coors Field, but it's an offensive ballpark.
Yes, it is.
Not an easy place to pitch.
Right.
I just wonder, Rick, if the walks are somehow a product of trying to pitch too fine because of that ballpark.
It could be.
Does it seep into a pitcher's mentality?
I think it certainly could. You know, if you don't have your good stuff and you're not on point, you give up a couple and you're thinking, boy, I got to keep it in the yard.
Let's go downstairs right now and check in with Kaylee Griffin.
Oh, Matt, Kyle Manzardo up to bat. Now, you had mentioned earlier how good he's been on this homestand. Obviously, that last home run is a perfect example, but he really seemed to get back on track on that trip in Sacramento and Kansas City. Stephen Vogt said pregame he's starting to hit the ball hard again and finding some hits again, which is great. He said Kyle's one of our best hitters, and he has been for a couple of years. We're just really seeing him square the ball up.
Like that, deep right field, it is gone again. A 2-homer game for Kyle Manzardo. Kaylee right on cue. What a day for Manzo. 6-2 Guardians.
Well, you mentioned he's starting to heat up, and you can see why. That ball's jumping off his bat.
Rick, I was going to mention that extra boost and that extra punch in the lineup that he's provided had been missing and much needed.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a reason when the manager puts you in the 4-hole, batting cleanup. I know the lineups are a little different than they were when I was a kid, but that still carries some sway. When you're batting cleanup, man, they are counting on you to drive him home.
He was pretty close to being right in the top 3. We were hitting home runs on the number 4 hole last year.
Bazzana trying to go up the middle, but it's cut off by Ellie De La Cruz.
Well, he clips another fastball. That one was sort of middle in. It was belled high, and he turned on it. Just short and through the baseball.
In the American League last year, Rick, only Riley Green of the Tigers hit more home runs out of the cleanup spot than Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, and Green had, maybe not out of that cleanup spot, but he had, what, 35 homers or something like that.
Kyle hit 21 out of the cleanup spot, and Riley Green hit 25 out of the cleanup spot. But a lot of these guys, as you know, they move around. They don't just sit in one spot.
Well, nowadays, every lineup changes most of the time.
4th time in the career of Kyle Manzardo that's still just getting started that he's had a multi-homer game. But this is what is so encouraging when you look at this Guardians offense. And you can continue to add on. You get a couple early, that's fine, that's great. But the reason that when you lead after 2 and you win, stat stands up, it's because you are able to add on. Take some of the pressure off the offense. You get a couple of runs early and everybody exhales.
Right.
Rather than those games where you're leaving 12 guys on base and everybody's gripping the bat tight.
Yeah, that's right. You have close ball games. I mean, that's just been the style of them for quite a while. But boy, it's nice when you get a little breathing room, like you say.
Quan challenges. Guardians have one remaining.
Strike. The batter is challenging.
Yeah. Quan knows.
Ball 4.
That's his 4th walk in the series.
Fielder number 1,
And Angel Martinez 0 for 2 to the plate. Back foot fastball. Way up high, 2-0. Looked like a rugby game next door over in the club suites.
Oh, is that where it landed?
Yeah, that foul ball landed in him. It was a scramble. Oh, what a jump by Quan. But Angel puts it in play, and they throw him out to end the inning. Kyle Manzardo. It's a twofer. A 2-run homer in the third, a solo shot in the fifth, 6-2 Guards. Cleveland Guardians baseball brought to you by Levin Furniture and Mattress, your mattress headquarters. All right, I've got a question for you, all seriousness. What's the farthest you've ever run at one time?
Competitively or something like that? I was a sprinter.
Did you ever do a 5K, a 3K, anything like that?
No, I'm not a long distance guy. I'm a sprinter.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew you was fast. I heard the stories.
No, 90 feet, 90 feet.
Could you ever imagine, let's say somebody said, Rick, I'll pay you $1 million to run a marathon.
Pay me $1 million, I'll run it.
You'll do it?
Absolutely. And I'll finish it too. It may take a while, but I guarantee I'll finish it.
Spencer Steer grounds to third, one away.
But no, I have no desire for that.
I ran a few 10Ks when I was high school, teenager. I couldn't imagine running 3 miles right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marathon runners, that's a different human
animal.
being.
You know who Rosie.
Rosie.
Jim Rosenhaus used to do that in college and stuff, and he likes it.
Bazzano with a nice play, moving to his left, pulled him off the bag with a throw, but Manzardo definitely tags him out. 2 down.
Now batting for Cincinnati, the designated hitter, number 31, Nathaniel Lowe.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who's my age, maybe a year younger than me, and he still runs the Columbus Marathon.
Well, they run it like they're they're just walking. I mean, they got a pretty good pace going.
I wouldn't walk 26 miles, let alone run it.
It's tough to drive 26 now.
Especially through traffic.
No, it takes a certain person to do that, which is good. God bless them.
Yeah, we were in Boston just a couple of years ago on Marathon Day. Watching those people come down the finish line after our game was over, that was enough. I'd never
that's right downtown.
Yeah. Oh, another smash ball by Nathaniel Lowe. Good throw by the water, but it's a little offline, and Bazzano had to cut it. So Lowe has a double. And he's 2 for 3, and as you said earlier, something about Cleveland brings out the best in his swing.
I'll tell you what, he's always swung the bat well, and this time he turns on one, a little spinner, and he just speeds up his bat. He's a nice little DH for him.
So with 2 down, Tyler Stevenson to the plate. Bullpen ready for Cleveland. Gavin will go over 90 pitches.
Yeah, and 65
right
of them are already strikes, so he's throwing strikes, man. He's out there, he's pumping it.
Well, it's kind of like Brady Singer. It's not like he was walking guys. He was throwing a lot of strikes, but man, every mistake he made with a spinner, Cleveland punished him.
This could be this, what is it, the second start in, let me see here for Gavin. And second start in the last 4, he could have no walks. He hasn't walked anybody yet.
Pumped it by him at 97. Still has plenty in the tank, it would appear.
Yeah, but does that extra rest look like it helped him a little bit, huh? Today, you think?
Right out of the start, and then the way he navigated through the second inning after giving up a couple of hits. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt he benefited. Tried to hold up. He went around. Strikeout number 7 for Gavin Williams. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-2 Cleveland.
Fans get. The Guards take on the Nationals on Memorial Day, and 15,000 fans will receive a City Connect plush blanket courtesy of Dear Dutchman. Get your tickets today at CLEGuardians.com.
Connor Phillips is the new Cincinnati pitcher as he comes on to work the 6th inning. Pitched an inning last night, allowing an unearned run. First ball swinging. Patrick Bailey into deep left center field. Friedel back, looking up. It's off the wall. Patrick Bailey's first hit as a Cleveland Guardian is a leadoff double here in the 6th inning.
Attaboy. He took it the other way. He smoked it to left center field. And that's got to make him feel much better. He's hit the ball hard a few times and nothing to show for it, but this time he's going to get that fastball and drill it off the wall in left center field. Nobody going to get there. Friedel chasing it down. Leday had no chance. So there you go. A nice double to get your first hit here in Cleveland.
Brian Rocchio coming to the plate now. He has a single and a home run on the afternoon. Connor Phillips delivers, and that's up and away. Let's go down to Kaylee.
Well, Matt, it's kind of hard to believe that just over a year ago, Brian Rocchio had been optioned to Columbus. So I asked Stephen Vogt what he's seen from his growth and commitment to being the best that he can. He said, what Brian's been through since I've been here, he played a whole season, then got optioned. He said, since he's been back from Columbus last year, his work ethic has changed. He wants to be the best. He said, Rugi challenges him, our hitting team challenges him. We challenge him to be the hardest worker daily in the league, and we're really starting to see that pay off. And Matt, you guys have obviously talked about it. His approach with 2 strikes has been incredible, but he's also hitting with runners in scoring position and votes that we couldn't ask for more.
There's a liner caught by McLean for the first out here in the 6th inning. Kaylee, I think something else. And look, as you say, Rick, you never know when the light bulb goes off for somebody. You never know when they sort of fully mature as a professional athlete. But I think about Rugi Odor a lot because I don't want to say he's a pet project, but I know, to Kaylee's point, he has definitely pushed Rocchio because he had him in the minor leagues. He was a manager of Rocchio when he was in the minor leagues. And the one thing that he really got on him and stayed on him was if and when you make a mistake, if and when something doesn't go your way, I don't want to see your head drop. Because when your head drops, you project defeat. You project the other team has your number.
Right.
And he really challenged him to know, hey, body language means a lot in this game. And so I think we've seen that kind of growth from Brian Rocchio.
Without a doubt. I mean, that's the biggest. And he's a really high-strung guy. I mean, he's got a lot of energy in there, and he tries to rush it, but he's starting to slow the game down, and it takes a while to do that. And, you get sent down one time, and you're thinking, hey, I don't want to come back down here again, but he's made a remarkable recovery, and let's hope he just keeps right on going. I mean, and look what it took. Gabriel Arias got hurt. He moves over to shortstop, and they pushed him to second, and he's been doing a super, and I mean a super job at the shortstop position. So now, I mean, I saw Arias out here taking ground balls. I don't know what his status is, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting because that kid hasn't done anything to, you know, you don't want to touch him the way he's playing.
Officially, there is no official word on Arias as far as a return time. He's still a ways away from going out on a rehab.
And then you have Bazana over at second base, and you know, he's got a lot of energy and he's playing very well. It's going to be tough to touch either one of them.
As you know, Arch, you went through it yourself as a player early in your career. When you're injured, the train keeps moving.
Oh yeah,
they don't wait for you.
Well, you used to look at it this way: you better get back in a hurry because you know the old Wally Pipp, man. You're going to lose your job. I mean, you're giving other people opportunities. That's why if you're an everyday player, you want to play every day. You don't want any time off. Don't give anybody an opportunity to take your job once you get one.
I always think of that. There's a clip of NFL films. It was an exhibition game, and they put Julian Edelman in the game while Wes Welker was dressed in street clothes on the sideline. Julian Edelman, crazy. He's running all over the field. And Belichick sidles up to Wes Welker and says, "You ever heard of Wally Pipp?" He had no idea who he was.
Yeah,
or what
right.
he was talking
That's
about.
A baseball player.
It was great, though.
Yeah. Well, hey, Google him.
Jose Ramirez draws a 2-out walk, and that keeps the inning alive. They have 2 on and 2 out. And Chase DeLauder's coming up, and he's had a good day. A 2-run homer in the first, got the Guardians on the board. Then he singled and scored ahead of Manzardo's homer in the third. Fastball strike. That hit triple digits, 100 miles an hour. Off the outside corner, it's 1-1.
May stay in play.
It sure will. Stewart, the third baseman, has it. And that will end the inning. 6 in the book, 6-2 Cleveland. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. (6-2) Guardians. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen made for Tim Herron here in the 7th inning. T.J. Friedel leading off for Cincinnati. Or actually, this is Blake Dunn batting for Friedel.
Yeah, Dunn has seen action in every game in this series. Had a good night last night.
T.J. Friedel making his first start in the series was 0 for 2 and struck out twice. And now Blake Dunn is down on the count 0-2. Walk on and miss. He made quick work of him. 3 pitches, strikes him out. Well, our progressive defensive play of the game is the performance of Gavin Williams. 6 innings, 2 runs, and as you said, no walks.
Yeah, that's the second time in 4 starts he has not walked a hitter. He had some kind of streak where, you know, he normally walks somebody, and that was great to see. Always around that zone now. The little extra rest certainly helped him out, and the offense backed him up and gave him a lead early.
1/3 of his outs came on 3 pitches or less.
You like that? But he's one guy that's tough to get it on 3 pitches or less because they don't put it in play.
Yeah, only twice did he fall behind a hitter 2-0, and that's why he was able to get them to swing the bat
ahead in the count.
Tim Herron 1-1 is low. And after a 3-pitch strikeout, he walks Matt McLean. A word here from Bet365.
Did you win? Let's just say the next round of omelets is on me, fellas.
Bet $10, get $200 in bonus bets.
Another pinch hitter for Cincinnati. This is Dane Myers. Myers came off the bench in the series opener, doubled and scored what proved to be the winning run for Cincinnati. Gave them the final margin of victory. Last night he led off and hit a home run in 4 trips to the plate.
Wow. First 3 pitches of the inning were beautiful, and he's thrown 1 strike since. That's where Bailey will go out and slow him down and say, let's go. Let him swing the bat.
Hunter Gaddis up in the Cleveland pen. Six runs on 9 hits for the Guardians. 2 runs, 8 hits for Cincinnati. The big difference, the long ball. 4 home runs for Cleveland. 2 2-run homers, Chase Delauder and Kyle Manzardo. Manzo added a solo shot, and Brian Rocchio with a solo home run. This probably won't surprise you, but when the Guardians have hit at least 4 home runs in a game, they've won 12 of their last 13.
If you hit 4 homers a game, you better win the game. Please. Unless they're all solo
I was
shots.
just going to say that might be the exception.
But even then you would expect to win it when you hit 4 homers.
Something's going right. In the dirt. More balls and strikes now for Tim Herron as he tries to turn things around against Dane Myers. 1-on, 1-out, payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. And it was borderline at best. Myers may have helped him out. 2 down, second strikeout for Herron. Take another look. You be the judge.
That was maybe too close to take.
You're right. I agree.
I mean, when you get the ball that close to the plate as a hitter, I wouldn't take it.
Ellie De La Cruz, 2 more hits today, a double and a homer. Gives him 11 homers, 12 doubles on the season. A 10-game hitting streak. I'd say he's got a pretty good shot to be the starting shortstop in the All-Star game for the National League.
Yeah, I hope so. Who's doing any better than that guy?
He's pushed his batting average over 300. Big rip, came up empty.
Well, and he's up there when you and that says something about him, because they used to talk about all the strikeouts he had. They want to cut down on strikeouts and this and that. But you don't hit 300 striking out that many times. He's driving in runs. He's hitting home runs. He's playing very good baseball.
A curveball strikes him out. Tim Herron picks himself up, strikes out 3 here in the 7th inning. After a walk to Matt McLean, he comes right back and ends the Reds' threat. (6-2) Guardians lead it as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. They play the 7th inning stretch here. Take me out to the ball game. You know, we often talk about Jose Ramirez being underrated, underappreciated by the rest of the league. I think he's finally getting his just due. I think everybody is aware of how good he is. But I want to talk to you about a player that could understand and empathize with Jose Ramirez. You're looking at Vada Pinson, one of the most underappreciated players perhaps in baseball history. There he is as a member of the Cleveland Indians late in his career. But Vada Pinson started alongside Frank Robinson, who certainly cast a long shadow. He was an MVP and a Triple Crown winner. But one of Frank Robinson's best friends was Vada Pinson. Look at these numbers. 4 seasons of 300 and 200 hits. He played every day. He was a guy that you couldn't get him out of the lineup.
Wow, look at that. 306, those 90 triples. And this guy had the cleanest shoes. He used to polish his spikes. They were shining. I mean, spit shine. He was a great man.
2,700 career hits, 250 home runs, 300 stolen bases, 100 triples, 450 doubles.
Yeah.
Only one other player can match that stat line of Vada Pinson, and that's Willie Mays.
How about that?
And yet, Archie, when he was eligible for the Hall of Fame, out of the 400 ballots that were cast annually, the most votes Vada Pinson ever received was 67. It's sad.
Travesty.
It's a travesty, is right.
Yes.
I don't know why he was so overlooked by the writers.
He was one of the nicest men you'd ever meet. Polite, great. I mean, he was.
He's one of those guys.
That's a great question. Why?
He's either just one of those guys that falls in the cracks, as they often say, he's in the Hall of Very Good, not the Hall of Fame. I don't agree. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think somehow 2,757 career hits. Here are the guys who have more hits than him that are not in the Hall of Fame. There are only a few. Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols. They will be in the Hall of Fame once they're eligible. They just recently retired. The other guys are Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro. We know what hangs over their heads.
Right.
And Johnny Damon. And if you took Johnny Damon's numbers and put them across the board against Vada Pinson, they're not even close.
Vada would be
Vada's a Hall of Famer. I just don't.
Well, I'm all for it. Put me in. I'll vote for him. Absolutely.
But I thought it was interesting because we hear that refrain about Jose. And I just happened to see this. I was reading about Vada Pinson, and I thought, my goodness, that's a really interesting comparison because of what people said about him. And why? That's a great question. But Jose, I think for years, he has been so-called undervalued, underappreciated, underrated. And I think Tito made a good point. He told me, he said, I go around the league, and he said, Matty, everybody that comes up to me, they want to know about Jose. Tell me about Jose. What's he like? What makes him tick? What makes him great? You know why, Arch? Because Jose don't go out of his way to fraternize with all the other players.
Right.
He's still a kind of an enigma, a mystery. The guys don't know what
today's
makes
game,
him tick.
you're right.
Yeah. And maybe that's why he's sort of been that off-the-radar guy. But now he's put up numbers so many years, year after year after year. But look at these guys side by side.
Very, very
Look at the
good.
difference in hits.
Yeah.
And if we're going to say Jose's a pretty
He's going to be.
Hall of Famer?
You would think so. Why isn't he?
Then Veda's got to be in there.
And
with
I'll
him.
tell you what, when Frank came here and got the manager's job, he had Veda over here in spring training, helping out.
Well, he was a longtime coach in the big leagues. He was a hitting coach.
He was
teams,
with a number
White Sox. I think the Marlins at the end of his career when they first came on board. But yeah, a lot of different teams had him on their staff.
He was a baseball guy, and back in those days, a legend. You know, to the players that followed baseball, and he was teaching.
1-on-1 out here in the 7th. Look at Bazzana just take off, throw down. He came off the bag.
He must have.
He had it stolen. He came off the base, and James Hoy calls him out.
He said, all right, let's maybe take a look at it. It looked like he beat the throw, but yeah, it was a late call, and he might have been off the base. Let's see. There's the hand in. He's safe, out. He couldn't hang on to the base.
I think Bazzana is arguing with James Hoy that maybe De La Cruz nudged him off the base.
No, he did.
It's a hard one to prove, though.
No, he came off. You gotta maintain the base. You can't come off of it. You gotta wait till you're done moving. So that'll be the first time he's been caught. Although he stayed on the base, he would have had one.
Up and away, ball 4. So Stephen Kwan is aboard with 2 outs.
Another walk for Kwani.
A word here from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Where can you get the guaranteed lowest prices on the top mattress brands for life? Only one place, Levin.
One of my favorite stories about Vada Pinson, I'll tell you this, and this is what he kind of reminded me of Jose Ramirez. He was a quiet guy, not a look at me, not a pound your chest kind of guy. He was so quiet that early in his career, Jimmy Dykes was one of his early managers. And because Vada didn't say anything, Jimmy Dykes mistakenly assumed he was Hispanic. So he was speaking to him in like broken English and very matter of fact. Finally, Vada said, Mr. Dykes, if you need me to do something, just tell me. Popped up foul, back out of play.
Yeah, I mean those numbers that we see that Pinson had, second to none. You could bet that most, I mean 98% of the players nowadays won't get to his numbers.
And I mean just an everyday gamer. He had a streak of I think it was over 500 consecutive games played at one point.
That's how you get to those numbers.
Yeah.
You play every single day.
First time he went to spring training with the Reds, they timed him at 3.3 down the line to first base.
Flying. I mean, and that back in the day where, the black people had the issues, they staying at different hotels. And I mean, that was the tough time for them to play in the game of baseball.
I think that's why he and Frank Robinson became such good friends, because they had each other.
Do you know exactly where he's from? Was he from out in Oakland in that area?
He went to high school there. He was born in Tennessee.
You know why? Frank went to
Oakland.
Yes, it's the Oakland area where a lot of those guys came out of. Ricky Henderson was out there.
Boom! Deep right field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is. Goodbye. Angel Martinez continues his incredible ascent. That's his 9th home run of the season. He's got 24 runs batted in. What a series for Angel. And the Guardians now lead at 8-2.
Wow, this kid is he's getting better and better every day. But that one was hammered. He had a good look at home plate at that one. Having a chance to stay there. That's a 2-pointer. So 3 2-run homers today. A couple of home run or solo shots.
Well, he saw his boy Ellie hit one earlier. He said, I've got to hit one too.
All right, that's 5 homers.
And now Bailey just missed hitting one over the bag down the third baseline.
Almost hit the base.
Another look at the homer.
Spinner. Boy, they've thrown a lot of spinners up there today that they've hit out of the ballpark. That catcher, did you see Stevenson put his head down?
Sure
He said, I'm so sick of calling for a slider and seeing it leave the ballpark. Well, you better start putting down some ones. And that's what, 4 homers, 4 out of 5 days.
Angel now has hit in 6 of his last 7 games, 4 homers, 8 runs batted in. That's incredible. And a ground ball to second. Matt McLean scoops it up, throws him out. 7 in the books here in Cleveland, and I mean, what an offensive performance by the Guardians. They have hit 3 2-run homers on the day, all 8 runs via the long ball.
Well, tickets on sale for the Cleveland Guardians Charities 50-50 raffle. You better hurry up and get them because the raffle will end tonight at midnight. And they have $17,428 in the pool. So if you want to get them, go to CLEGuardians5050.com by midnight tonight because that's when this raffle will close.
J.J. Bleday leading off the 8th inning, and Cody Hoyer on out of the Cleveland bullpen. Hoyer, AAA Columbus, 14 games, a 2.57 ERA. Swing and a miss. To spring training as he strikes out Bleday on a minor league deal, but they invited him to spring training and they thought so much of him that they put him on the 40-man roster before camp was over and optioned him down at AAA Columbus. He's a guy that's spent a lot of time on the comeback trail, not once but twice. Elbow surgery that cost him almost 3 full seasons. Wow. Something about this organization, though, man. They can identify pitching. They can see a guy with maybe the tools and the skill set and figure out, hey, a tweak here and a tweak there, and we've got something we can use and we can work with. Man, they do it year in and year out. Tito was even asking me the other day, how do they keep finding these guys? I said, you were here, you should know.
Right. He's only been gone for a couple of years.
But he laughed because I said, you know, that's what everybody asks us, like we know. You know, what's the secret sauce?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Like, it's not one thing. We've tried to explain it before. It truly is an incredible collaborative effort from the entire organization.
Well, as you talk about, they try and make the pitchers. How do you want to get better as a pitcher? What do you want to be like? What do you do? They want you to make the decisions. They'll be more than willing to help you out and put all the work in to make you a better pitcher if you want to become better. There he goes, elevated out of the zone, gets it out for a strikeout.
I think very rarely do they take a guy and, you know, it's not Frankenstein's monster. They're not rebuilding anybody. They know how to enhance what you do well.
Yes, that's the most. Get the most out of what you have. And if you want to do it and then put in the work, there's a really good chance you're going to do it.
Swung on and missed. Tell you what, Cody Boyer's debut here in a Guardians uniform, pretty doggone impressive. 9 pitches, 7 strikes. He's trying to whiff the side. Primarily fastball, slider, and occasional changeup. Three-one pitch, and Sal Stewart draws a walk, so he's on for the 3rd time this afternoon. A word here from Liberty Ford.
Now batting for the Reds.
Liberty's in Aurora, Maple Heights, Canton, Parma Heights, Brunswick, Vermilion.
Nathaniel Lowe has hit the ball hard all 3 times up today. This time popped up. Rocchio says, "I've got it." And he does. Headed to the last of the 8th, 8-2 Guardians. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Trevor Story and Jose Altuve both on the injured list. And look at the team records for both clubs.
Well, yes, Houston's been just dinged up all year long. Boston, they're having their issues. Yeah, there's a lot of surprises, I think, early into this quarter poll.
TJ Antone on the pitch for Cincinnati, and Brian Rocchio got hit on the foot. So he's on base for the 3rd time today.
Now batting for Cleveland, no leadoff hitter, 3rd baseman number 10, Daniel Schneemann.
Back to the top of the order we go. Daniel Schneemann 0 for 4. One ball and 2 strikes. And he strikes out Schneemann. Foul tipped it into the mitt of Stevenson. Bet365 scores from around the league. Guardians are headed to Motown, where the Tigers are in danger of losing for the 9th time in 11 games. They are being shut out. Bottom of the 8th, they have 2 on and 1 out, so they could still rally. Jose with a high drive, deep center field. TJ Friedel can't get it. Jose has homered, and the Guardians continue to pound the baseball. Their 6th home run of the afternoon. 9, or make it 10-2 Cleveland.
Yeah, and 4 of them 2-run homers. Jose said, all right, I've seen enough of this crap. Everybody's hitting it out of the ballpark. I want one. And he finally gets one, and he knew it when he hit it. That'll be number 7 for Jose.
4 2-run homers for the Guardians this afternoon.
Yes, indeed, and they are in double digits now. with 10 runs.
This is one of the most efficient offensive performances
everybody
ever seen. 10 runs on 12 hits.
Loves the long ball. And I mean, normally they have a hit party when they do this. This, you don't see them hit the home runs that they've hit today. 6 home runs.
You said recently, just wait a couple of weeks. Well,
getting here now, we got to go out. The weather's starting to warm up.
The weather snuck up on us.
Finally gave us a warm day. Now they got something to look forward to when they come back. There you see another off-speed pitch. Jose, boom, see ya.
Every hanger has been just
They haven't
destroyed.
missed it. They have not missed it.
Kyle Manzardo has hit 2 home runs. A 2-run homer off the foul pole down the right field line in the 3rd. And then he clobbered a solo shot in the 5th. The Reds are headed to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. They are red hot. They are blanking the Pirates in Pittsburgh 6-0 in the 9th inning.
Again? Wasn't it 6-0 yesterday they won? With the left-hander on the mound, the changeup man.
Sanchez was,
yes.
I mean, he looked like he was playing a different sport, and the Pirates hitters had no chance. Well, 8 in the books. 10-2 Cleveland. 10-2 your own business.
Protection.
Well, score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From the official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, you've got the whole season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Guardians.
Cody Hoyer back out for a second inning of relief work. Tyler Stevenson a roller to 3rd, and Daniel Schneemann throws him out, 1 away. Motown awaits us. 4-game series tomorrow night, beginning between the Guardians and the Tigers. We'll have all 4 for you right here on Guardians TV.
It's about the same time we went there last year, wasn't it, for a 4-game series right around Memorial Day.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, indeed.
Off the top of the mound and into center field. Blake Dunn with a 1-out single.
Now batting for the Reds, second baseman number 9, Matt McLean.
Defensively for Cleveland, Stephen Kwan moves over to left field. Petey Halpin into the game now in center, and Angel Martinez moves over to right. Matt McLean.
I'm trying to find it down in the one asked about the base running.
And that's called a ball. Challenged by Bailey.
Pitchers roll the ball. The catcher is challenging.
Patrick Bailey's 2 out of 3.
Has 1 challenge.
Reds haven't had a single challenge in the game. Big rip. Matt McLean down on the count of 1-2. Right field near the line on Hill. Can't get there. Great diving effort. And on his way to third is Blake Dunn. They'll stop him there. Oh, the throw back to second, and they got him dead to rights. Oh, my goodness gracious. Matt McLean overran the bag. He was thinking they were sending the runner home. And by the time he looked up, he was almost halfway to third base.
Yeah, it was too far around the corner. He thought they were going to score, but Martinez got up and hustled to get that ball in quickly. He attempted. That's a heck of a dive. But look how quick he got up. He's going to get that ball in, and they expected him. And Dunn can run. I mean, he expected him to be all the way around. And he gets picked off on the back end, so that'll be a double. But then they end up getting him trying to come back. He tried the old swim move.
Dave Myers, the batter. One out away from nailing it down. In there for a strike. Great weekend here at the ballpark. We had 27,903 on Friday. Over 33,000 here last night. And here on the Sunday series finale, 27,388. There's the 2-1. Chopper off the plate.
Gotta hurry.
Schneemann couldn't get it out of his glove in time, and a run will score as Blake Dunn crosses home plate. And Dave Myers picks up an infield RBI single on the old Baltimore chopper.
Yeah, I mean, that was a do-or-die play. There's nothing else. You had to field it cleanly, make a perfect throw. He just couldn't in the transfer. He had to do it all at once. He ends up not being able to get him, so they'll extend the inning. It's now 10-3.
Pops it in the air to left. Back is Quan. Book it. The Guardians take round one in the battle for the Ohio Cup as they beat the Reds today 10-3, taking 2 out of 3 in the series. The Guardians have now won 8 of their last 11 ball games to get to 26-22 on the season. Gavin Williams, the winner today, he goes to 6-3. Cincinnati falls for the 12th time in their last 15 games. They're back to 500 now at 23-23. Brady Singer, the loser, he's now 2-4 on the season for the Reds. Man, what a day for the offense.
Yeah, what a way to end up a homestand, you know, with a nice offensive explosion there. 6 home runs. They end up winning the series here against Cincinnati. And that was a great day. It was fun to watch. Those guys exploded. And we'll head out on the road and play a couple of teams. Could be 4 in Detroit and then 3 in Philadelphia. Looking forward to that.
Ten runs on 12 hits. No errors, 6 left for Cleveland. 3 runs, 11 hits. No errors, and 8 left for Cincinnati.
Training. Cody, you know, he's pitched in this league for a long time in leverage roles, and so for him to come in and give us 2 innings today, you know, kind of save the rest of the bullpen. Timmy, outstanding job today too. Navigating 5 righties, 4 righties, whatever it was, and just excellent all around by those 2.
How much is a day today like emblematic of the growth you guys hope or are seeing in this group collectively?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it. We're trying to have quality at bats, and we're trying to square up mistakes. They threw us 6 homer balls today, and we hit them all.
We do see this in Cleveland a lot. People get very worried in April because the bats aren't coming around.